The entire fandom froze in disbelief when reports surfaced that BTS's Jin was seen visiting a health clinic late at night, escorted by 2 members of his personal security team. The question that immediately spread across social media was simple yet terrifying. Is something wrong with Jin? Within minutes, Jin Health and HYBE emergency began trending worldwide, and the mystery surrounding his sudden visit sent armies into a spiral of anxiety. What made the situation even more unsettling was the timing. Just as Jungkook returned to the spotlight with new solo activities, Jin seemed to be stepping away from it, quietly and unexpectedly. Was this a coincidence, or something far more serious happening behind closed doors? According to an eyewitness near Seoul's Seokjin district, Jin appeared visibly exhausted, wearing a mask and cap, as he entered the clinic around 10:40 p.m. The witness described the scene as quiet but tense, adding that Jin's demeanor did not resemble his usual confident self. He moved slowly, supported by a staff member, and avoided public attention. That single moment triggered a wave of speculation online. Was Jin battling fatigue, stress, or something much deeper? Fans immediately recalled his recent appearances where he seemed unusually pale and subdued, leading many to question whether his health had been deteriorating for weeks without public notice. HYBE's silence only intensified the chaos. For hours, no official statement was released. News outlets began to circulate photos and unverified reports, while armies filled timelines with messages of worry and prayers. Some even questioned whether Jin had been overworking himself since returning from military service. Others connected the dots to his tight schedule promoting new brand campaigns and charity events. Could his body simply have reached a breaking point after months of pushing beyond his limits? The tension reached its peak when HYBE finally addressed the matter through a brief and carefully worded statement. Kim Seokjin visited a medical facility for a private consultation regarding fatigue and general health. There is no cause for alarm, the statement read, but the calm tone failed to ease fans' concerns. If it was truly no cause for alarm, why did the company feel the need to deploy security and restrict media access to the clinic? Why were the clinic staff instructed not to speak to the press? Those questions lingered, fueling even more speculation that the situation might be more complex than it appeared. At the same time, Jungkook, who had just stepped back into public attention after a brief break, suddenly found himself in the middle of the storm. The youngest member's name surged alongside Jin's, as fans began drawing comparisons between their current states. Jungkook had recently made headlines for his powerful comeback performance, yet some netizens noted his eyes looked unusually emotional, especially when Jin's name was mentioned during interviews. Was it guilt? Was it concern? Or was there an untold story connecting the two moments? Behind the scenes, sources close to the group hinted that Jin had been pushing himself to attend private rehearsals despite medical advice to rest. One insider revealed that Jin had insisted on not disappointing ARMY, saying he owed it to them to stay strong. This statement broke the hearts of millions who read it, highlighting once again the immense pressure BTS members carry even years after their peak global fame. When the world demands perfection, even a small sign of vulnerability can shake the entire foundation. Interestingly, Jungkook's recent public appearance added another layer to the emotional storm. During a live stream earlier this week, when a fan asked about Jin, Jungkook paused for several seconds before responding softly, "Young is strong. Don't worry too much." His voice cracked slightly, a moment that fans replayed endlessly, searching for hidden meaning. Was Jungkook trying to reassure the fandom or convince himself? Meanwhile, HYBE's internal actions spoke louder than words. Within 24 hours of Jin's clinic visit, the company reportedly reorganized its artist welfare division, adding more medical staff and adjusting several upcoming schedules. That sudden decision led analysts to believe that Jin's condition might have served as a wake-up call for the label. A health-related intervention of this scale rarely happens unless something significant is at stake. What makes this story even more poignant is Jin's reputation as the pillar of strength among BTS members. Known for his calm presence and unshakable professionalism, Jin has rarely shown signs of weakness in public. His ability to maintain composure through fame, military service, and the pressures of global attention has earned him the nickname, the team's anchor. So when news broke that he had sought medical help, it struck a deep chord, not just among fans but also within the entertainment industry. If someone as resilient as Jin needed help, what did that say about the hidden toll of celebrity life? Social media became a flood of emotional tributes and concern. Fans began posting messages like, "Please rest, Jin," and "We don't need perfection. We just need you healthy." The outpouring of empathy reflected how deeply connected ARMYs feel to Jin, not just as an idol, but as a human being who has given them comfort through his music and kindness. The incident transformed overnight from a headline into a collective emotional event, uniting millions in a shared moment of vulnerability and care. Observers couldn't help but notice how the timing seemed almost symbolic. Jungkook, often described as Jin's younger shadow, was shining brighter than ever, while Jin quietly disappeared into a clinic. The image was powerful, one star stepping into the spotlight while another stepped away to heal. It reminded everyone that behind the glamour of fame, there exists a delicate balance of health, emotion, and pressure that even the strongest can struggle to maintain. In the hours following HYBE's statement, more rumors began to swirl about what might have caused Jin's exhaustion. Some pointed to the emotional burden of maintaining his solo commitments while staying connected with the group. Others speculated that he had been silently supporting Jungkook behind the scenes, helping coordinate creative input on several projects. While none of these claims were officially confirmed, the narrative of Jin's quiet sacrifice began to take hold, a narrative of love, responsibility, and unspoken struggle. What shocked fans the most, however, was an alleged internal memo that surfaced briefly on social media before being deleted. It reportedly mentioned concerns regarding the physical strain of senior artists and included recommendations for mandatory rest and counseling support. If authentic, the memo suggested that HYBE was not just reacting to a single incident but addressing a systemic issue that could affect more of their artists. The company's decision to move quickly after Jin's visit could be seen as both an act of crisis management and genuine care. As the dust settled, one question still echoed across every platform. What happens next? Will Jin take an extended break from activities? Will HYBE allow him more personal time before resuming his schedule? And how will this moment affect the dynamic within BTS as a whole? For now, all eyes remain on the company's next move and on Jungkook, who seems to carry a silent understanding of what his elder brother in music is enduring. In truth, this incident reveals something far greater than a celebrity health scare. It exposes the fragile humanity behind superstardom. Jin's decision to seek medical help, though alarming, is a courageous act of self-awareness in an industry that often rewards endurance over well-being. It's a moment that challenges both fans and the entertainment world to rethink what it means to care for those who give so much of themselves to the public. Even in uncertainty, one thing remains clear. Jin's quiet strength continues to inspire, even as he steps back to recover. And while HYBE navigates its next steps and Jungkook faces the spotlight with renewed empathy, the world waits, not just for a statement, but for Jin himself to stand again, smiling, healthy, and unbroken. Because for millions of ARMYs, his recovery is not just news, it's hope.